We started in 2010, as you know it. What we do is in MRO, maintenance, repair and overhaul. So specifically on helicopter engines and aircraft engines. And over the years, more than 16 years now, is to support our customers in Malaysia. We're the approved CMC, Certified Maintenance Center, for Safran helicopter engines and the approved MRO for EPI on the A400M engines. So what we are, over the years, who we have developed from helicopter engines and gone to bigger engines, and moving forward as what is in our prospectus is to use the proceeds of the money from the public is to spend into new capability, organic and inorganic growth. And of course, when we first started, I have Philippe and Syed back in 2010. And fast forward, we're very happy to have all of you here today to celebrate an important mark for GTA in going to the capital market. Yeah. So if you say about the customers, over the years, it has always been actually all customers in Malaysia, not just the MINDEF customers. By and large, we started off with the offshore and also private customers when we support the helicopters. But of course, if you see in terms of the revenue portion, the supporting the Royal Malaysian Air Force is a bigger role for us at GTA. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm from the Age. So yeah, you are putting 10 million in the Middle East expansion, right? So with this ongoing conflict that is going on, did it change your plans and now make you cautious about it? And what are the market target over there actually?
Okay, thank you so much. It's a very good question. I get that a lot actually over the past weeks. When I went to the Middle East back in February, so we have actually gone quite extensively in the discussion. We have identified areas that we can actually collaborate. However, when I left in February, long story short, we've put that on hold for the moment. But actually, we've gone quite extensively on the discussion. So to come back to the Middle East, I think we are looking at the current security situation, and we're talking to the local parties and trying to understand when is a good time to go back in there. But as far as I'm concerned, I think what is important is our investors' confidence. So we will make sure that we look at all the risk involved at the current Middle East crisis. And we've gone to actually look into areas which are closer to us. And as you know, we are now handling Brunei as an additional territory, and we are able to, in a couple of days, I think there will be further announcement about Brunei. So we're looking somewhere more closer. Just to answer your question, it doesn't stop our plan to go into geographical expansion, but it's just a matter of time that we get ourselves back to the Middle East. Yes.
Good morning, I'm Thomas from Malaysian News Channel. When will the new operating facility be ready? The moving and in operation?
Okay, we are targeting by December that we will move in. I think that's moving on pretty well. And when you transition from a new to a new facility, there will be time that we need to do the certification. So we are actually planning very much, I think, a smooth transition, because we plan to start our landing gear system as quickly as Q1 next year. So it is actually by end of the year in order for us to catch the business in a timely manner in Q1. Yes.
Second question is, what's the GTA market share for MINDEF 1 and 2?
100%. Because we're the sole agent, the sole certified maintenance center, so there's no competitor, because we are authorized to touch those engines, and there's nobody like us in Malaysia. And for the TP400, actually we're the only one in outside of Europe, actually. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Does a GTA plans to divest to other MRO, for example, the airframes, avionics?
That's a very good question, Thomas. I think it's well within our prospectus because we're no longer engine MRO. I think we first started that, and it has been traditionally for the past 15 years. Now we're going into component, namely the landing gears, because landing gears are very much a wear and tear because it's always, each time you land the aircraft, it's moving parts and it's prone to the MRO type of activities. So that's where I reiterated the fact that by first quarter of 2027, we have to be ready to go on into a new capability, which is the landing gear. And also we have explicitly put in our prospectus about wheels and brakes. So wheels and brake would be the additional revenue, new business streams coming our way.
I understand that some of the engines are sent to Europe for repairs, especially those very big overhaul. Can it be done in Asia at GT?
Okay.
I think, having been in the now for us and serving this industry for more than 25 years, you have capabilities here. Nothing can take place without the proper level of skills, which we explained in the previous presentations, and it's also cost effectiveness. If you want to attract the airline, if you want to attract the client, you need two things. You need their trust, and you need the trust of the manufacturers. Otherwise, they will never appoint you as their subcontractors or their service centers. And I think the journey so far, after 16 years, is we have done everything gradually in a cost-effective way. Whatever can be done in Malaysia will be done in Malaysia. Not only for the country, but for the region, with the support of the OEMs. Thank you.
Second last question. The scope of the GTA for commercial helicopters and aircraft. It covers commercial airlines, Asia, and
Okay, because I think a lot of people ask me about the concentration risk, because mainly when you read the prospectus, it's all about Ministry of Defense. But if you look at how we first started with the helicopter business, there was the oil and gas sector that we were supporting. But this is of course dependent on the operators using helicopters with our engines. So traditionally we had many engines which was fitted onto the offshore operators. Now no more. But however, we will see that these engines will come back because the offshore operators will come back and buy helicopters with Safran engines. So it's actually 50-50. Tetapi because military, I think because of the A400M, the revenue is big. So you see in our prospectus, we are as if dependent just on those big contracts. So to level out again, we are doing the landing gears, which is typically on the commercial aircraft. So this is the A380, the 320s. So it's not going to be concentrating on military, but where we want to go is actually on the bigger opportunities in the commercial sector. Thank you, Thomas.
It's the same technology. All bear this in mind. Whether you support military product or civilian product, the core, the skills are exactly the same. So just watch it, like the economy said, just watch the oil and gas market for the next 5 years. There will be a lot of aircraft being replaced, and maybe there is a good chance for Safran engines to be there.
Yes.
Daniel as well for Madama. Congratulations on so much.
Thank you.
So my first question would be, in the fact sheet mentioned about pursuing mergers and acquisitions. Maybe you could share with us, maybe in the near term, any acquisitions or mergers are going on in GA.
Thank you very much. Yes, we have identified certain targets or companies. We cannot disclose yet because we are in the midst of discussion. Mainly, these companies is not within Malaysia. It is due to our relationship with the OEM that we are now negotiating that perhaps some strategic assets abroad that we can actually be part of the ecosystem. Jadi, yes, we are putting some money of the UOB into buying companies, and that I think is a good strategy that we can grow quite even faster in order to achieve where we want to go in the next couple of years. Thank you.
Thank you, Dato'. We have time for at least one last question before we end today's session. If you have any questions, please raise your hand, say your name.
Yes, Thomas. Go ahead.
The revenue for 2024 and 2025 has increased substantially. Why is the margin declining to 12.2%?
Okay. Okay, this is a bit tricky. We landed into a contract to sell the engines to the Malaysian Air Force. What we have done is that we lock in on the 2023 prices, so we enjoy a better margin in 2024. However, when we want to sell again in 2025, the prices rationalize back again. So that was we were being quick to enjoy the 2023 or before the price increase, because if you know aviation, it's 5% escalation every year. So it was very tactical for GTA to do that. So we enjoy that buffer profits. Okay.
Last question is, perhaps you can elaborate more on engineered trust.
Okay. So this why I think you were in the hall listening about trust, because I believe that between me and Philip and Syed, we've been given the trust of the OEM that is from the back end sort of thing, meaning that the support. Because without OEM, we will not achieve the technical capability, the deep talents, the technology transfer. It's because of a lot of negotiation. And Philip, of course, was from Eurocopter. I was working with him, and so was Tuan Syed. We understand the OEM mindset. Hence, I think because of that trust, because we know how to handle and what's the expectation. And it has been over 15 years with Safon, and EPI is 10 years now already. Now, on the flip side, Thomas, we have the forward fronting, which is a customer. If you see the data, it's more than 15 years repeated. So when you're with the customer, they understand that this is the right people who is solving your problems, and they're more willing to share information. So when I want to renew the next contract in 2027, we've sat down with them and we already know what sort of flying, what sort of mission readiness that they want, and we understand the problems. And I think Cairo is from the chief engineer of the Air Force, so we have a talent pool. And now we have data that has been built over 15 years that we know them. So they're very happy to have us solving their problems. So it works both ways, with the supply side and of course with the customer side. So that is why we say the trust in aerospace is not something that you can achieve in a short term. It's actually something that we build and we take pride on. But trust is also on the grounds that you deliver. So we have actually we haven't disappointed our customer. We're always customer fronting, and I always tell my team it's about the customer experience. It's not just about the satisfaction, but it's the experience that they have with us for a long, long time. And just to share, the aircraft will be flying the next 30 years because that's the lifespan of an aircraft. And for example, the Nuri that always crash, kami minta maaf lah, just not to say something bad, but the aircraft is older than me and they're still flying at one point, right? So it's actually the aircraft would outlive the tree or all of us, but the business has to grow. The people that we have trained, the capability that the country has is something that we have to safeguard. And thanks to the OEM that trust us that we are able to do this. So it's been a journey. Yes.
To proceed to the stage.